Daytrippers, brought to you by bookmakers.com.
Hello, welcome to Full Time Reds. It's me, Chris Brack. I'm here with Matt. I'm here with Kev, and we are here sponsored by bookmakers.com. If you want to know about bookmakers.com, the details are in the description below. They are bookmakers who will help you find the best deals they can. If gambling is not your thing, don't worry. Have a look at their YouTube channel. They do really good football content, and they have really good statistics on their website. So it finished Liverpool 2, Real Madrid 5 in a pretty humbling experience, let's be honest. Liverpool don't concede 5 at home very often, and I'll be honest, this is definitely one of those things where, Matt, you just kind of have to take your medicine. We can talk through the goals, and we'll talk through some things we're happy about, but just they were just ruthless, and I think just played on a very naive second half performance. Very, very naive.
Yeah, I could all kind of feel a bit aggrieved at halftime. You know, the second goal there's like the second goal of ours, a bit of a freak goaltending mistake. But how we played in the second half from the first minute in was really, really bad. It was really bad. I mean, it's hard to even try to take any positives out of it. This is the reigning European champions. This is Real Madrid. They've got one of the best managers in the entire world. They got a lineup of absolutely top-level players, but so do we. So do we. And we did not play like that at all. And I couldn't be further away in how I'm feeling right now than how I felt at about 15 minutes into this game.
Yeah. I mean, look, Kev, you and me were messaging most of the game. We were generally all right, actually. You at half-time sort of going like, it's a bit mad with got to 2-2, but both teams have scored a worldie and both teams have conceded a rick. So you kind of went, do you know what? That first half could have been 4-2 Liverpool, it could have been 4-2 Madrid, it could have been 4-4. It was a bit of a mad first half. The second half is the real killer, I would say. That's what we really just looked like. They just took advantage of us quite comfortably.
Yeah, we were just well and truly handily beaten in the second half. From start to finish, man for man, their plan for the second half was just much better and just how can you say? They just executed it better. The thing is, the first half was mental. It was absolutely crazy. Even at 2-0 up, it was like they're definitely on. They're going to get something because Vinicius Jr. was a constant threat, and the way they countered was spot on. When you actually look at the stats, we both had 9 shots. They had 1 more on target than us. We had chances. This is the killer. We had plenty of chances in both halves to get more than the 2 that we got. So
just one thing, mate. Guys in the chat, I get everyone's frustrated. If you're going to use foul, shitty language, you're just going to get a block. Grow up. We're all upset. You don't need to use foul language, okay? You don't need to go over the top like that. So, Jack, I've seen your comments. If you want to express your disappointment, that's sound, mate. Don't express it like that. That's your warning. Anything like that again, you can get lost. Okay. Sorry, Kev. Carry on, mate.
I had comments after.
I'm sick of people who are frustrated, and I get we're all frustrated. I'm pissed off royally how badly we've been today. But you don't have to. There's a way of expressing yourself without being an arse about it. Okay. Sorry, mate. Carry on. Oh, Kev. Have we lost Kev? Right. Sorry. Go back to you, Matt. So while Kev comes back. So look, let's start from the beginning. So lineup wise,
same again.
Same again. Did that eventually tell its toll? Possibly. But look, you couldn't ask for a better start. It's the move for the goals, but it's a great ball by Trent into Gakpo, plays it nicely to Bajcetic, plays it out to Salah, lovely ball, and Nunes doing his Fulham finish. Great start. You think perfect. That's what we need. Excellent. And then 2 minutes, and then not long after that, Mo does which we probably a lot of clubs don't do a lot of, which is just pressure a keeper, because not every keeper he's brilliant with the ball at the feet. And unfortunately, ours is supposed to be, and he got caught out. But we'll come back to that in a minute.
Mhm.
Takes advantage, nice finish. You think, right, 2-0, settle down, let's see what happens. Vinicius' goal, the first goal, it's a brilliant goal.
Yeah.
You know, people will point things out at Joe. Could Joe get a bit tighter? Could trend up? It's quick interplay. And the word he bends it into is really, really difficult. I mean, JS sums it up perfectly. Sobering, that is pretty much what today is. You can't really put it any other way. And then Liverpool have some chances, so did Real Madrid. And then, unfortunately, the second goal, which is just a bit of a killer, Paul Pajetic loses it in the middle. You know, as a kid, you're going to have to accept that's the risk of playing a youngster. You know, he did okay today, but, you know, that's the risk of playing a youngster. They might make a mistake. Joe Gomez, some people say maybe should just boot it out for a corner, possibly. But others, I'm like, but again, the pass back, some will say it's not a great pass back. I still think Alisson, it's not that difficult a clearance he has to make. It wasn't like the Courtois was trying to control it and get it onto his strong foot. You know, it's pretty comfortable at his feet. And we go into half time, go, fuck. Do you know what I mean? It's 2-2, you're like, well, it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, the second goal, I have a tough time assigning a ton of blame to Joe Gomez for that one. Like somebody said there that Gomez was at fault for 4 of the goals. So
yeah,
I don't think that can be one of them. Like, wasn't a good pass back. It was a bit bobbly and things like that. But I mean, Alisson is one of the world's best keepers with the ball at his feet. He needs to be able to do better than that, and to just do a full carryus and not see the player there and kick it right into him. And did basically the same thing at Wolves, I believe it was this year.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, James here's a comment from Henderson. Hard to sum up that game. Large parts the first half we were better. Probably true. Too many mistakes around the goals, and we were punished. Pretty much, to be honest. So look, I was 2-2. I was all right, generally.
It almost shouldn't have been 2-2 though, going into the half, because 45 minutes, Andy Robertson, what a tackle! I mean, that's a tap in for Rodrigo at the back post.
Definitely. But the of all the 5 goals conceded, the one that really wound me up was the third one. Vinicius gets past Trent. Loads will go on how they get past. Vinicius gets past loads of people with that pace.
Yeah.
The foul by Gomez, it jumps in. It doesn't need to make it, and it doesn't take much. It won't take much to knock Vinicius over at that speed. But even then, the defending, oh my God, I wouldn't expect like an under 8 side to defend like that. He just walks and heads it. There's no one near him. There's no man marker. And Liverpool do a hybrid of man marker and zonal, but it's piss poor, isn't it? It is proper schoolboy stuff, that goal. And I think I tweeted at the time, you can't give a gift like that to Real Madrid. You're just asking for trouble. And that's really, really sickening.
Yeah, it's probably the worst set piece defense we've seen at Anfield since the corner was taken quickly by Trent. Like, it looked like none of our players were prepared to deal with that ball coming in. You watch the replay, there's a shot from behind the goal, and it just shows 6 of our players just standing there. And Militao just has a free run. He completely ghosts away from Gakpo, who has a look on his face like he has no idea what he's supposed to be doing or who he's supposed to be covering.
He seems surprised the runner's gone past him. You know,
and then nobody. We've got a line of 5 or 6 players kind of protecting Alisson, forming a bit of an offside line because the ball wasn't completely on the end line, and none of those row of players, none of them react to it, and he just has a free header. It's an absolute bullet header. There's nothing Alisson can do about it, but.
And then the second two, he just picked us off on the. I say he's picked us on the counter attack, but I'll be honest, we didn't really threaten. I didn't think too much, but look, 4th goal, he is onside. Joe's probably just a bit too deep than he needs to be. And look, when you look, Snoddy, I mean, I'm fortunate for Joe. He felt like he was there at every shot. It's a wacky deflection. You know, Alisson's no chance, and if you let Benzema get a shot off, you know. That's the risk you take, but yeah, not grand. Ian saying Pajetic was poor tonight. The game just passed him by tonight, in my opinion. But at 18, it can happen. I thought he was fine first half. I thought he might have got took off a little bit sooner. I mean, we'll go into the subs because a few were questioning the subs and saying, not happy with them. So we'll talk about what subs he made, what we thought. I think Kev was just up to the 5th goal. It's a great finish by Benzema. We can't
outrageous finish. It's an outrageous goal.
But the thing that, and you and me were having a discussion about this, the bit that annoyed me was we give the ball away soft, and if he gets us Fabinho, the young kid, Bajcetic, I know it's not very popular, take him out. Before you get the ball to Benzema. Because once the ball gets to Benzema one-on-one, you're going to struggle to get the ball off him.
See, Modric was gone. And that was the thing. It was once Modric nicked the ball, he was gone. And the way Benzema sat Alisson down, it was just, that's the kind of thing you do when you're 4-2 up, and you've got that little bit of composure. It was a world-class finish. It was an absolutely outstanding finish. Their first goal and their last goal were true world-class finishes. On the RTE commentary, Ray Houghton was on, and he said that Joe Gomez could have got closer. No, he couldn't. That was if he got any closer, he'd have sidestepped him and gone past him anyway. It was just the way that, and he did it a couple of times because Alisson made a brilliant save in the first half when Vinicius shifted it on his right foot, and he just shifted it out again, made the angle, and it was just an outstanding finish. The first one, the second one, Alisson got across to it and saved it and went out for a corner. But the last goal, Benzema, who hasn't kicked the ball in anger in weeks, was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous. And the thing is, they managed the last 20 minutes. It was just the fact that they only had 9 shots in total. It was only because they managed out the last 20 minutes. If they needed to go again, they could have. And we were in the first half, it was end to end, and while it was helter skelter, it was fine. We were well in it, but the composure they showed once they got ahead, it was like, okay, we got ahead, we're staying ahead, and that was the one thing that we didn't show when we were 2-0 up. And I suppose the thing is, you're stuck between the devil and the deep blue sea with this Madrid side. At 2-0 up, I don't think you could sit off and let them have the ball, because I think they're that good that they would have created enough chances anyway. And if you go for a third, you can get picked off. You almost got to back yourself individually to win your individual battles, and they just won more of the individual battles when we were 2-0 from the time we were 2-0 up right through to the end of the game. We were fortunate, in fairness, at the time. It was a ridiculous mistake by Courtois, well taken by Salah, but at the same time, you find yourself in that situation, and I guarantee you, to a man, they wouldn't have thought they were going to be 2-0 up. So they probably to work out for themselves what the hell are they going to do, and they decided to go for broke and keep going, and they just got picked off. It is what it is.
Yeah, it's not grand. But where can we go on? We'll talk about subs in a minute. Apparently, JB Carragher said he'll get his place for Liverpool back four tonight. He's all big and brave, Jamie. Once the result goes poor, never mind. Dickhead comments like that don't really help Jamie. Thanks for that. So let's talk about the subs then, because he does like for like. He brings on Jota and Bobby for Gakpo and Nunez, who they didn't really get much of a touch of the ball in the second half. But to be honest, I don't think any of the front three got a touch of it really. So I thought he might have kept Darwin on for a bit longer just for his physicality and his pace, but we didn't really expose it. And then a few saying, Milner came on for. I was saying to you, Milner came on. I said, what's the point of having Naby Keita on the bench then? Whether you like or loathe Naby Keita, and people have their own opinions of him, he's not been used now for 3 games. So what's the point of putting him in the squad if you're never going to use him? James Milner,
but it was
he's a good servant to the club, but isn't that sort of if you
he wasn't James Milner coming on, and even with what he did, he was fine. He didn't really get exposed in any way, shape, or form. Naby, I think once Gomez got injured, that kind of made up that. I think that probably made up Klopp's mind that if you're going to lose the pace of someone like Gomez at the back, because he's covering his ability to play on the cover was okay. He was getting it an awful lot. But if you're sacrificing that for Joe Matip, you can't then put Naby in midfield as well, because it was hard enough as it was. I think the only thing that he could have done was maybe left Darwin on and maybe gone 4-4-2. And put 2 up top, 2 out wide, and try and go that way. But at the same time, you'd have been 3v2 in midfield with Modric. He'd have just pinged you around like a fucking lunatic. he didn't do nothing apart from step outside. He didn't hardly step outside of the halfway line all game. He just dictated everything from there. He didn't fucking move. I'd love to see his heat map because I bet you he didn't move.
Oh, I don't know. I disagree, Kev, because a couple of times I wrote down like
when he did now and again.
He's everywhere.
But he finds himself near the ball. It's whatever it is. It's just intelligence. He just attracts himself to the ball, but he doesn't seem to be one that runs around like a headless chicken. He just doesn't.
No, he just I noticed something with their attack. It was for the first. Oh, sorry, Kev. Go ahead.
Oh, he's frozen again.
Oh shit.
Go ahead.
I noticed something that they were kind of doing in their attack when they get the ball out wide is Benzema would drift out and match up with either Rodrigo or Vinicius Jr. And then the left or right-sided midfielder, and they'd form a little square, and they just play these little balls around it. And that's kind of where the first goal came from, is they just overloaded, and that overload is Benzema and Modric dropping in there to just play these intricate little passes, and it's like they've practiced it a million times because they're just so quick and so precise, and it's where the first goal and the fourth goal come from. It's just them getting into tight spaces with really skilled technical players, and we just couldn't put a tackle in. And nobody on our team, the fine on our team for taking a yellow card has to be massive because nobody wants to take a yellow card on this team.
I think the only one going into tonight that was at risk was Trent. Everyone else was fine. So there was just times in the second half, Matt, that we just couldn't get anywhere near him. We physically couldn't make the distance between because as soon as they got the ball, it was quick one touch. It was gone. It was quick 1-2s, move into space. And like you said, it is something that there's patterns of play that they practice year in, year out. They've been doing it for that long that it's just instinct with them.
Yeah.
They're that damn good when you especially when they have a lead, because they just manage it. Sometimes you just got to hold your hands up and say, yeah, look, in that second half, they're way better.
Yeah.
We just couldn't get anywhere near it.
Every time I don't watch Madrid a lot, I watch them beat Liverpool more than I watch them play anybody else. But
they've won 6 of the last 7 games or something.
Yeah, I absolutely adore Fede Valverde. That is
he's a brilliant player.
He is so good in the most unheralded way.
He's at that perfect fucking age as well, isn't he? Where he's going to be around for a decade, and you didn't see it in the World Cup with him, but you saw it tonight. How he's high energy, and he's reading, his ability to read the game, and to read the play. It was second to none. And that's not to say that in the second half we weren't without chances. We had half decent chances in the second half. There were 4 saves out Courtois. There was one Bobby header from a corner that went off Rudiger, and you're talking half inches. He gets a clean header on that. It's in the corner. It's a goal. It's 5-3. It's only a 2-goal deficit. The thing is, it's ifs, buts, and maybes. They took the chances. We didn't.
No, and it's not like they only had 5, wasn't it?
No, it could have been more. It could have been more, but it could have been more the other way as well.
Yeah, the first half, especially, both sides could easily have scored 4. Second half, there's only one. Let's be honest, there's only one side in it, and we can pick holes in players, and people will do, and but as a team performance, they just all were outdone, including Klopp. People. Yeah. You've got to say, nothing changed. Unless maybe it could be, like we've had these mad 10-minute spells in European games where we score 4 in the past. And people go, managed to go, there's nothing you can do. It felt a bit like that. It just felt like I'm not sure what change we'd have made that would have shored it up or stopped us conceding more. And else, at 40, you kind of have to go for it a little bit because you kind of want to try and get one back. A couple of saying Klopp was showing out his depth. Well, tell me who you'd bring on. Tell me what you'd have brought on differently. What would you have changed differently? People saying the 4-3-3. Well, it's the way we've been playing the last couple of games, which has shown some green shoots of positivity. Not saying Liverpool haven't been back in the last 2 games, but they've been better than they have been recently. But there was a concern out, and you may have said this, Kev, playing pretty much the same level of the 3 games on the bounce. Would legs eventually catch up with us? I mean, tonight I'm not sure if that was the case. I think we just outplayed.
No, I just think we were outdone. I don't think there's no point in looking for, simple. I don't think there's a simple excuse that you can say, yeah, put your finger on that. That's the reason why we conceded 5. It's not. It was Alisson had a brain fart. Gomez got a deflection. There's 2. You had a stupid free kick and a Modric free kick that was inch perfect. Brilliant timed run. Gakpo lost a runner. That's 3. You had a brilliant counter attack for the 5th and a worldie for the 1st. On another night, you score, you get the deflection, you get the bounce to the lucky bounce. And tonight, it just wasn't it. At 2-0, I was ecstatic. I was over the moon. I was roaring. But
feels like a long time ago, that, doesn't it?
Yeah, and that's the deflation of it, is because there was so many good things in that first half. But the more they got their foot on the ball, they just exposed the flaws that we have in the side. The 3 in midfield are the patterns of play that Madrid had, where it was too easy to get Vinicius on the ball early. And once he got on the ball early, it was panic. There was nobody that could match him for pace. And once he got the ball early and wide, his first instinct was to run at someone. And if he couldn't get something off, he'd lay it off to someone else and bring someone else in and make a run. Benzema would come short and make the extra man. It's like here we are. We've done it 1,000 times before, and this is what we're going to do. It's not their first rodeo where they've been behind in away legs in a Champions League, and they just almost kind of reverted to type and just found a way and worked at it. They're really fucking good.
Yeah, Dermot, I don't think anyone's saying we're unlucky. We've spoken about some of the goals. You need that bit of luck, but we've pretty much said the whole second half we were outplayed. I'm not sure you listened to what we're saying. We've said pretty much the whole second half we were completely outdone.
Completely outdone the second half.
Yeah, so, and believe me, if anybody was going to come on here and try to defend Liverpool, it would probably be me. And there's no defense for it. I think it was Zupdog said earlier on in the show, he had a comment up there. I meant to save it, but didn't, about we can't put a corner in. Like Bobby had that one free header that went off of Rudiger, but other than that, we hit the first man. Like Danny Carvajal seems like he has some sort of tractor beam in his head for pulling corner kicks into him. And really, really bad. Like you're going to get maybe a few opportunities here and there. Madrid aren't a huge team. We've got some pretty big guys on our team. We're getting corner kicks. Let's try to get our head on the ball. No, first guy, first man. Like it's been like that for the whole season. Yeah, we still have the highest goals in the one of the highest goals in the Prem from corners, which just shows how shocking people are at corners because it doesn't feel like that.
We had 4 corners and we hit the first man 3 times.
Yeah.
So it's frustrating. The last 2, it's funny enough. The last 2 games, the corners have been going into the middle or into the far post, and for whatever reason, they went near post this time. Maybe it's because it was Carvajal and he's like 5'8", 5'9", that they tried to attack the near post and look for flick-ons to the far. I don't know, but I know for a fact the last 2 games we went to the middle of the goal and far post. And the other side of it as well, you got to look at Courtois, 6'6". Anything in or around the middle or going to the far post, he's coming to get it.
Yeah.
So that's probably half the reason why they went near post. The only time that we didn't, that it went to the middle, was when Bobby got it, but he was a fair way out as well, and there was enough. I think he was probably a yard outside the inside six-yard box. So, and it was a right-footed cross going away from the keeper. So that's probably why.
Yeah, so I suppose where we go from here, really. I mean, let's be honest, no one sees a European comeback coming from that, do we?
No.
You just can't say. Even if you have Liverpool playing at their peak with everyone fit, no, which is quite humbling, really. So I think that was.
I don't know.
You got to hope. No. You got to hope for a Barca one. I know what you're saying.
I'm like Kev. I love it.
No, the thing is,
I've got to be honest. I can't see it.
The Barcelona game. When you look back at it, when you look at that first leg loss to Barcelona, when we lost 3-0, you come away from it thinking that wasn't a 3-0 game. This tonight felt like a 5-2. But at the same time, when you've got nothing to worry about, it doesn't matter. You're going out anyway, so fuck it. You get one early one. get to halftime with 2 to go, with 2 to get. Anything can happen. I'd never write this team off. Not with what they've done in the last however many years. And, in 3 weeks' time, we don't know where we're going to be. We don't know what Liverpool are going to look like on Saturday. Now, mine's 3 weeks' time.
I love Laszlo's
so God knows why not. What's that?
I love Laszlo's positivity. 4-0 easy.
Easy.
Well, the thing is, look, I'd have been more angry if this was a league game. And that's the truth. Is look, Madrid, in the current state of where we are and the current state of where Madrid are, they're a better side than us at the minute. And you just take our red glasses off for a sec and start the game. You'd have thought that.
Look, they've won the European Cup and they've added too many, which we didn't even play tonight.
Yeah.
We haven't.
It's almost the case when David Alaba went off, Modric drifted out of the game. Yeah. It was like Nacho came on and it was like, thou shalt not pass. But while David Alaba was on, Mo was getting joy. It was weird. But no, I'd never write this team off. It'll be a bigger achievement to go there and go through than what it was against Barcelona, even though it was 4-0. I think it'll be a bigger achievement to go to the Bernabeu and go through. But yeah, why not? It's not like we haven't seen other sides do this before, and it's not like we haven't done this before. Never write this side off.
Klopp said, "I'm not really sure the third goal was a goal, but even we had to defend the free kick better. That was a real knock. I think the third goal felt like the killer of all the goals. That felt like the
that was deflating.
Yeah, because all the others you can sort of, Vinicius Junior going, it's a top quality goal. The fifth one's a top quality goal. The other two are mad deflections. You can sort of tell yourself, but the third goal, which I think is the crucial one, it's so soft.
The timing of it too. Like to come back quickly after the half, people be bouncing back in from the concourse after halftime, ready to go. And by the time they've even gotten back to their seats, we're down 3-2. And we've thrown away a 2-goal lead, at home. It's just, it's mind boggling. Like I could take a tiny bit of positive out of this of Gavin Walsh in the Telegram chat said, how did anybody expect that a team that got battered by Brighton and Wolves would be able to beat Real Madrid? Like the idea that we've turned a corner is crazy. But the thing is
it though?
Well, for now, like at this point, the tie's over as far as I'm concerned. Like if we get something out of it, amazing. I'll take another Liverpool miracle, like that's, if we want to add another page to our 11,
I'm only messing.
I'm more than happy with that. I'm really, really not expecting it. And again, I'm super optimistic when it comes to trying to predict Liverpool results. But to get what our goal is for this season now, which will be to get into the top 4, we don't need to be better than teams that are as good as Real Madrid.
The problem is this season we haven't been better than teams that are as good as Wolves.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Because we're so inconsistent. That's where it's a bit. That's where you hope you see in the league now. The Liverpool we see for the last 2 games. Not tonight's a bit. We can't really sort of compare to many other Premier teams because
I thought Real Madrid were sublime tonight. I don't think if I was doing match ratings, I don't know if I would give one of their players less than a 9. The work that Rodrigo did on their right-hand side in defense was not a part of his game I thought he had. All of their defense had fantastic games.
The smartest move they did was moving Valverde to centre mid to negate the loss of Tchouaméni. But when you have players of that quality, that's what they can do for you. Klopp also said, we lost too many balls in the wrong moments. I can't remember one pass to Darwin behind the lines in the second half.
That's right. It didn't happen.
You could
change it sooner. Finding one in my notes.
You're being cynical. You could change it sooner then to somebody who might try and do that pass. I don't know. Klopp, I told the boys already, it's a massive knock, but a defeat, it's only defeat if we don't want to learn from it. And we still want to win the game in Madrid. So the usual standard things you expect a manager.
Yeah, it's what you do. I mean,
the pay by numbers.
What Billy O'Flynn is saying there is spot on. I'm more interested in getting a result against Palace.
Yeah,
and at the end of the day, it's like whatever happened or didn't happen tonight, you bounce in. If you go in on the back of a win against Real Madrid, you're bouncing in to Sellers Park. Sellers Park is a notoriously fucking difficult place to go and play football at the best of times. But at the same time, you're still coming off of 6 points and 2 clean sheets in the league, going away from home, having scored 2 goals, and yet conceded 5. You know, it's not good. But at the same time, there's made. It's a, I think it's kickoff. So just got to go to Selhurst Park and get 3 points. Just bounce back from it.
Yeah.
You have to.
And listen, it's 3 games of the week next week. It's not like it's just Palace. It's Palace, then it's Wolves, and then it's United. That's the next 3. So it's not like it's he's got to find a way of rotating the squad because we can't play that 11 again because you know you can't. I can't see Fabinho and Henderson do 4 games on the bounce. I just don't see it. Well, I could see it, but I don't think it's going to end well if we do that. They're going to have to rotate. But at the moment, I don't know who he's going to bring in for the Palace game because he's clearly Naby's been told he's just not wanted. And it's probably so you're looking at
you probably bring Harvey. Yeah, you probably bring Harvey in. Milner will probably get a game. But the thing is, even if Milner gets a game, you don't need Milner to play 90 minutes. You need him to play 60.
Mm.
So you get 60 minutes out of him. More than likely, Jota will start, and you'd rest one of Gakpo or Darwin. And you just look at who's fit. I mean, the thing is, you got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, travel down Saturday morning. So you got 3 days recovery. So you see what they're like by then. But I don't expect too many changes. Matip will come in for Joe, but
because he's injured.
So,
is Ibu still a couple of weeks away?
Hey,
when's Ibu back? Is he a couple of weeks away yet?
I haven't seen him in any of the.
He isn't training yet. So he's going to be a couple of weeks at least.
Mm.
He might be available for the second leg, depending.
Look, I bet he can't.
Diaz is probably available after that. So
probably,
you forget about him as well. So it's like they're just going to have to manage it somehow. You know, I mean, they knew these games were coming. They knew the dates that they were coming. They haven't changed. So he's decided to go top heavy with the last 2 games, which is understandable given the fact how desperate we were for a result against Everton. Yeah. And what happened, and you're going away to Newcastle is probably the hardest away ground in the league to go to. So you had to go as strong as you could for that one. Tonight was, look, you go the same again because they'd earned the right to keep the shirts. And this Saturday coming again away to Palace, there's always going to be the one. This is probably the one that they always forecast. Say, look, this is the one we're going to have to make changes in. No, they would have had this one earmarked, and the players who are probably playing Saturday already know. You know, they would already. Yeah, you'd have thought so.
Because at least then the other 2 games are home games, which I'll say, maybe it won't help. I don't know. Depends what turns up. But we got lost in the 5-2. Mo Salah has also become Liverpool's all-time leading goal scorer in Europe. He's overtook Steven Gerrard now, so I'm not sure you'll care much about that at the moment. But it's still an achievement, and you know when you think
he's on 18 now for the season, I think, isn't he?
No, he's 19, I think, isn't he?
19, is it?
Yeah.
Batchtich became our youngest ever starter in the Champions League.
How do you think he did first half, second half, honestly?
He really faded. Just before he came off, I wrote a note that was like his passing has gotten really underhit. Like he underhit like 3 or 4 passes in the middle, and he was trying to do that kind of around the corner loopy stab pass, and they were all just coming up short, and we couldn't get our foot on the ball in the game. But I'd say out of the 3 midfielders that started, he had the best game. You know, Henderson ran around and did a few bits, but
I thought Henderson started well. I thought Henderson was fine in the first half. Second half, like the rest of them, they all faded like fuck. You know, they all looked like they shrunk at 3-2 and just it was.
When was it that he
they
yelled
all
at
faded?
I wrote it in here somewhere.
I think
it came through on the.
I thought Jesse was fine for first half. I thought possibly when he lost the ball, which led to the second goal, that seemed to get in his head a little bit, but I felt he was left on a bit too long, if I'm honest. I think that he was probably should have been took off a bit sooner. Partly, he's a kid. You know, he's at the end of it, and this is the other thing: he's 18. You got to be careful not to overplay an 18-year-old because you can ruin him. Even though physically he could probably do it, you know, the mental side of football. You know,
it
it's
wouldn't
tough.
be the worst idea to take him out of
Take
take him out of the firing line for a while.
Fortunately for him, but also unfortunately for him, he's probably our most informed midfielder. So it's hard to pick a game where you don't want to play him, which probably says a lot of where Liverpool have been at times. You know, he's looked the most impressive.
Look, I think because he's 18, he gets a lot of leeway for
he does, but
for some of the stuff that he does.
He's done the stuff that you want him to do. What a lot of midfielders haven't been doing. You know, a lot of it is keeping it simple.
Yeah.
You know, so
well, Paul Smith there saying that Klopp isn't a great tactician. I mean, at the end of the day, for someone who isn't a great tactician, he's got a hell of a fucking CV.
Yeah, it's just unfortunately he's up against Ancelotti, who is
the
brilliant.
master,
especially in Europe. Was he 5 European Cups he's won? You know, it's sort of his
plus what he's won as a player.
Yeah.
But Carlo Ancelotti for me is the best manager in world football and has been for a long time. But it's not so much his ability to man manage. His man management is outstanding. It's his ability to change within a game and to adapt within games that's second to none. He is absolutely outstanding. And the thing is, he gets harshly judged by his time at Everton by a lot of fans in the Premier League. But you look at what he did at Chelsea. He made Chelsea a side at the time that were one of the best sides to watch around. You know, they were a brilliant side to watch under him. And they're the same. Madrid are the same. And the thing is, at Madrid, everything is about the Champions League. They don't care if they win the league or not. Couldn't care less. You know, if they win the league, fine. They'll come second if they don't. It's Champions League. Everything is geared for the Champions League. And the pressure of that job is like nothing that is in any of the English jobs, in any of the Premier League jobs. Managing Real Madrid is crazy. You know, if you talk to anyone who lives in Spain and you ask them what the Spanish media are like when it concerns Madrid and Barcelona, it must be one of the most draining things about any manager who takes that job. The relentless nature of their media, and he just takes it in his stride. He just all of it's water off a duck's back. He's done it all before. The guy is just ridiculously good. And no offense to Klopp or Guardiola or anyone like that, it's like Carlo is that damn good, you know. Yeah. And sometimes when you put in a performance like they did in the second half, just dip your hat and say, yeah, they were good. They really were.
I just find it bizarre. It's always every time Liverpool lose a game, Klopp is the worst tactician ever. I'm thinking like, you know, I could get you being annoyed with Klopp. I think there's a bit of balance, you know. You know, you're acting like it's like a no mark in charge of you. You know, I think sometimes you just need to have a little think before you message sometimes. You know what I mean? Some of it's a little bit ridiculous. We're all pissed off that we've lost. But, you know, you don't have to go, honestly, tearing down everything and, you know, tearing down a manager who's done a lot for us. And also, if Klopp leaves in the summer and we're not in the Champions League, good luck for who we're getting. Because I'll be intrigued to see who we bring in to replace him. And do you know what? That might be a wake up call. That we go, it's not all.
Hey Matt,
give a chance. Give a chance to do it. Let's at least give him a chance to build a squad and see what it does again.
Yeah.
But right, so where do we move on from here then? Matt, what are you seeing for the next couple of games? What massive changes are you doing?
I think the forwards come back and get their starts. I think you probably see Bobby and Jota both go from the start. And then if history tells us anything, it'll be Mo Salah. We'll just keep playing because that's what he does for Liverpool. So it'll look more like a last season forward line for us. The midfield is a huge question. Hendo came off on 73 minutes.
I can't see Hendo for big. Do you know what? I've got to feel I can't see either of them starting. Palace.
Can you even see the kid starting? Because, you know, people were concerned about his ability to last the game, and he's going this is pretty much 2 full 90s on the trot now. He came off 85 or 87 minutes, something like that. Harvey Elliott comes back in for sure. I think it's not even a question. Harvey Elliott will play on the right side at 8.
Yeah.
Milner in the 6, Keita on the left. But
could do, unless you do a midfield 2 and you play 4 of them.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, look, you're going away to Palace. They're they're going to play 4-3-3. They might play with a back five, but we'll find out from Patrick on Friday night how he expects Palace to line up. But I don't think there's much room to change anything in the back line. Maybe Costas could come in for Robbo if he's a bit leggy, but I doubt it.
It would be nice to get some input from the offensive side from our left backs, because somebody earlier in the comment mentioned Andy Robertson, that his attacking play in the last few games has been very below his par. Like he doesn't seem to be whipping the ball in. So it would be nice to see Costas get a run in the team, because it's been a long time.
Yeah, he hasn't played in a while, has he? So he hasn't played in in probably a couple of months, has he? So that's one change you wouldn't. I'd imagine you might see. The midfield's a question, all right. The thing is, I think Naby has to probably come in at some point. He has to. It's just a case of if you play 4-2-4 or you stick with the 4-3-3 and bring Harvey in on central midfield, or if you play 4-2-4, you play Harvey wide and Salah more central.
Yeah,
with someone next to him, with maybe Bobby next to him, and possibly Jota wide left. You know, it's a possibility to do that as well. But irrespective of everything else that happened tonight, 3 points at Palace is probably as important as anything. It's as important as the most important game of the season now is the next one.
I think in the next 3 games, Liverpool needs
that's the way they have to look at it.
I think Liverpool needs to look at 7 points for the next 3 games, which is they need to be looking to beat Palace, beat Wolves at home.
Yeah,
and probably get a point against United. And look, I'll be honest, United are in very good form, so that's going to be really difficult. So, but I think that's the way Liverpool are going to look at it, is try and look to get 7 points in the next 3 games, and then see where that leaves you. Because Liverpool are still on this tightrope. As good as the last 2 wins were, we all knew you're probably only another defeat away from it probably being that's all she wrote. Thanks very much for this, your season done.
In the league, definitely. It's the way this season has gone, really. If you look at the table, it's still really condensed from 3rd right the way down to 12th. There's not much in it for anyone, and none of the sides around us, even directly above us, are consistent. So it's just about getting a win. That's all Saturday night's all about. Get a win, see where we go from there, and see where that leaves us. See what fit bodies you've got left. You know,
I mean, if you were saying like Darwin to start the weekend, he might do. I think it depends. I think it depends on the shoulder, because we don't know how he played. But again, what did they have to? Was it injections to play, or is his shoulder literally fine? Because if his shoulder's literally fine, Darwin's fine. This maybe want to give Gakpo a rest in. I agree. I think Jota could do the start, but again, Jota looks. He needs games.
Yeah, the thing is, the only way you're going to get match sharpness is play matches.
Yeah.
You know, you can only do so much in training, and you have to rotate that front line at some point, and you can only do so much. Even like I said, the same argument that I said about James Milner giving you an hour. The same argument is there for your forwards. You only. Oh, hello.
Okay, we'll just leave that drama.
Oh man! In all of the pods that I've been doing, I tell you what, that's the first time I've seen cat drama.
Yeah, for those of you listening on audio download, Matt's cats have just decided to have an absolute fist fight and attack Matt. So,
I'm going to go address this blood I got all running down my hand here. I'll see you fellas later.
Yeah.
Cheers, Matt.
Someone says more fight than we saw in the second half.
Basically, what happened was you had one cat saying, "I really rate Robbo," and the other saying, "Costas is the man. Costas got to come in. He whips those crosses."
No,
and they just decided to have it out.
No, Johnny was. One went Hendo shit, and the other went no Naby shit, and that was it. Then that's the. Or was it the FSG in and out argument? It could be that one, couldn't it? Because that would cause a big rupture.
Guys, if you're listening to this on the download, what you need to do is skip to about minute 43 or 42 on the YouTube video. Press play, stand back, and
have a laugh.
Yeah, because
I'll be fair. That's proper move. Forget about the match.
What are you gonna do? So exactly, sore loser that cat. I tell you,
sore loser. Yeah,
they do not take kindly to getting slapped 5-2. They really don't.
Don't blame them. We all feel a bit like that. Also, don't forget our charity. We're trying to raise money for breast cancer awareness. We've got 12 ladies who are going to run the Dublin Half Marathon. So all the details are in the description below.
Dublin Full Marathon, mate.
Dublin Full Marathon, sorry. Excuse me. Details in the description below. If you can give. If you can't, just share it around your WhatsApp groups, your work emails, and just look. We're aiming to get to 20k, aren't we? I think we're over 2 now, aren't we? So we're starting there. So I see that cat seems to have got more traction than the actual game.
I'll tell you what, Hughes has got the best puns going. It made Hughes pause for contemplation.
He's right. What else could we do?
He's right.
We're trying to find something else to talk about other than this bloody game. Oh,
look.
Jesus.
All right. I predicted last night. I think I predicted 2-0. I predicted a clean sheet. What do I know? But at 2-0, it was crazy. I mean, listen, our first goal was really good.
Oh, it was a lovely goal, but
it was a really good goal. And the thing is, the start that we made got lost in the disappointment of the result at the end.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things that if you're looking for positives to take out of it, when we went for them and we pressed them high, I was happy for them when they were playing out from the back. I was happy with that. I love seeing sides playing out from the back. It doesn't matter how good they are because you only got to force them into a mistake once. And we did it a few times where we forced them into mistakes and we capitalized on it and we were on it. And the biggest worry for me was when we got to 30 minutes, I thought, we just physically couldn't maintain that level of intensity. And maybe it was a case we put too much into it. I saw a tweet from Davo. And Davo's been consistent on this all the way through the season. We're too easy to play against at times.
Too nice.
And so I don't think it's too nice. I just think that we're too open. And when you're playing against someone like Vinicius Jr., and look, we kind of slandered him a bit on this channel for the last few shows. Didn't think he was as good as he was. He's matured a lot in the last 2 years. And I think tonight you saw someone who's right on that verge of becoming a true world-class operator. He was...
He's not even that old either, is he?
He's only 22, I think. But the thing is, he's been on the scene for so long. I think he was 16 when Real Madrid signed him. I think they paid something like 45 million euro for him at the time. It was a record for a 16-year-old. And there was a stretch in the game there where he opened his legs. Now, look, people malign Trent for his defending. Trent ain't slow. He's a lot of things. He ain't slow. He ghosted past Trent. And the only one that kept anywhere near close to him is Joe Gomez. And Gomez is quick. And even he struggled to keep up with him. It was the one that Robbo made the last-ditch tackle for. Do you remember? To Rodrigo.
The only person who kept up with Vinicius Jr. was Valverde.
Yeah.
He outstripped everyone.
It goes to show how quick they are in midfield. And you saw it at times in the second half when they were pressing. When you're playing in the Premier League against Premier League players, good Premier League players, the players had half a second more in the Premier League as opposed to tonight. They were that quick on the press that they forced us into making bad decisions and giving the ball away in bad areas. And that's down to their willingness to press in the right areas. And you just got to hold your hand up and say, yeah, they are really fucking good at times. And we've got to get better at how we manage that. But the saving grace is we don't play Real Madrid every week.
No, which is like a fuck.
Ashley.
We never win a game again.
Ashley, this game was a catastrophe. Keep them coming. Keep them coming.
What was it? Brian's before. Matt's not feeling fine, which I thought was I quite like that one.
Poor Matt is suffering for the cause. He's got a terrible war wound that he's definitely getting looked at the minute.
Yeah. I'll do this one. Justin's asking, what are our thoughts on the rebuild job that's actually needed for the squad, and with the current owners at the helm, how confident are you?
Well, listen, you go for broke because I answered it last night. Me and Gav did a show last night.
Give your answer again because I didn't hear it.
All right, me and Gav did a show last night.
You're more considered than me.
And here's the thing, Justin, right? As it stands at the minute, Bobby Firmino hasn't extended his contract. James Milner is leaving the club in the summer, and so is Oxlade-Chamberlain, so is Navigator. That's 4 big wage earners going out the door. That's 4 bodies that need replacing. And they're going to need replacing irrespective of who the owners are, irrespective of what money comes in. And if you've got an owner in FSG who are adamant that they want to protect their investment, the only way they can protect their investment into the club is to spend in the summer. And they have to rebuild this midfield with a minimum of 3 signings at the right age and caliber to give us a fighting chance of not only getting back into the Champions League as a right, but to be able to compete on 4 fronts. So, and they're not the only 4 who are going to be leaving in the summer, okay? You've got an argument and a decision that's going to have to be made on someone like Joel Matip, if Joel's going to have a future at the club after this season. Caoimhín Kelleher has made noises that he wants to go and play first-team football next season, which is fair. So there are possibly 5-6 positions you could be looking at.
The other one is Costas, whose contract has got less than a year in it, and again,
yeah,
so to replace a backup with a backup. Do you know what
I mean? I think with Costas, he's one that could be extended quite comfortably, quite easily. I wouldn't be too fussed and even if it's a case that you keep him for the year and you let him go, it's probably as cheap to do that and concentrate and bringing someone through or replacing him the following summer. I think this summer is more pressing areas midfield. I think you want to start next season, ideally, with Jordan Henderson being your 5th, at least your 5th choice central mid, and possibly Fabinho as your first change off the bench for a replacement 6. I think you want to be starting next season really with a new central midfield 3. And the players that you've got automatically starting now, Thiago, Fabinho, Henderson, Stefan, Harvey Elliott, those 5. I think you need to be bringing in 3 players who are better than those 5, or who you're going to build through for the next few years. And the only way to do that is you're looking at a minimum of £200 million investment in probably 4 players.
I think it does depend on the formation we're going to go to as well. Are we sticking 4-3-3? Is he going to go more? If he's going to go more of a 4-2-3-1, you probably need another wide forward.
I think no, because I think Harvey Elliott becomes that backup to Mo Salah on the right. But the other one to look out for is to see what happens in the next few months with Ndika.
Yeah, because his contract's up at the end of the summer.
His contract is up. He'd be available on a free. And I think he's the kind of smart business that you do to bring someone in, because I think long-term Kwanzaa does have a future at the club. He's out on loan at Bristol Rovers at the minute, and they're waxing lyrical about him. They can't get over the fact that he's this good, this young, and the fact that they're benefiting from him being there. I think long-term he's going to have a future at the club for sure. So
I do think we need a centre-half. I think it is probably Matip that goes. People won't like the fact Joe Gomez stays, but I think
we've had this discussion.
We have such a massive issue with homegrown and club homegrown players that.
Ian McLaughlin makes a point there. They have signed players, but they will they? They promised us signings before, and they never happened. Here's the thing: you literally physically have 4 players leaving the club this summer that have to be replaced. And if they're not replaced, then we won't be in the Champions League for a long time. Their investment and their sponsorship deals, which hinges on us being in the Champions League, go down to Swanee. Look at what happened with us and with Adidas going back when we were in the Champions League and we were knocked out of it. Adidas walked away from us. Because we weren't competing at the highest level. It's in FSG's interest to invest this money, because if they don't, they won't maintain the sponsorship deals that we have. And not only will they lose that, they'll also have to reinvest to get it back to square one anyway. So if they want to maintain what they have to put money in. That's just it. Gavardiol is not an option, I don't think.
He's signed a deal for RB Leipzig for the summer.
Look, I just think that Gavardiol is one of these players. I think he's going to be a 70 or 80 million pound player. I for the life of me, I don't see him going anywhere on the cheap. So it's
fine.
That's why I think you've got to look at a signing. If you're going to heavily invest in midfield,
you've got to be smart
and use the majority of transfer business in midfield, Ndicka to me makes sense, because he's good centre back, he's young, he's quick, he's French, and he's going to be in and around the French setup. He's probably too good to be. He's done well. I think he's at Frankfurt. He's done well there, and it's like he just seems the right kind of deal to do. If you're going to look for someone to maybe come in and kick on over the next few years, I think he's the right kind of profile you'd be looking for. Yeah. I think if you had to replace, if we had to replace Virgil this summer, then I think Gavardiol would be the one you'd look at. But if you're not replacing a Virgil type centre back this summer, then I think you look
for someone who's a similar ability to Aribu, only because
hey Matt,
which Ibu are we going to get? Which Ibu we get? Which Ibu we're going to get next season? Are we going to get the Ibu that was fairly available in his first season, or are we going to get the Ibu? Unfortunately, this year he's not been. His injury record hasn't been great.
No.
So.
But look, there's nothing. I don't think there's anything wrong with Ibu's ability when he's on the pitch. It's just physically getting him on the pitch. But
correct.
As we've seen with Joe Gomez tonight, you play someone who depends on pace, game in, game out. You're going to put pressure on these players with the hamstrings and stuff. If they ping, that's it. That's 6 weeks. That's just life, and that could be anyone. You know, hamstrings go at this time of year with players quite a bit.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, I'm with you. I'm thinking you're looking at least 3 midfielders you need. Can we just know that?
Yeah.
If Matip's going, you're looking for a straight swap for Matip. If Kelleher goes, you're looking for a straight swap for Kelleher. And I would assume they'll bring the young lad up to be Adrian's replacement.
I mean, the thing is, if people want to get rid of the likes, if people want to get rid of the likes of Joe Gomez and Curtis Jones, go and find English replacements, and find that money, find that budget to find English replacements.
But the other thing with Curtis Jones is he's also club grown, not homegrown.
So is Joe.
And
we signed him so young.
Yeah, that's the big thing that's killing us. Is we haven't got enough club grown. In 2-3 years' time, we will. You know, with the likes of your Elliots and your Dokes and people like that. But that's a few years away before they have to be registered. A few said, look, cry if we sign Mason Mount. Sometimes the most fashionable players turn out to be the best ones. You know, Mason Mount as the third choice option, fourth choice midfield option. It's not I don't think it's the worst option.
I'd be shocked if he doesn't sign an extension at Chelsea.
I think an agent using our name to get himself a better deal. Which look, good luck to him. Quite a lot of agents do. Yeah. A lot of agents. That's what he's paid for. To be fair, it's what Genies didn't do very well.
Yeah, Matt, what do you think that we're going? I mean, you pretty much know where.
What's the topic you guys are going
to basically, it was a question that came up in the chat. We know what FSG or what the owners need to do in the summer. Will they do it in the summer?
Yeah, it's a bit like what would
Given
you like?
The news that came out yesterday.
What would you like? What do you think will happen?
I try to keep what I would like and what I think is going to happen kind of at the same level so that I don't constantly make myself disappointed. Like I find that some people just expect too much from us in the transfer market. If you don't know by now that we're not going to go and spend 600 million in a transfer window, then I don't know what rock you've been living under. So you have to have some grasp on reality with what we're actually going to do when it comes to transfers. But I think it's going to be a big summer. I think we're going to get Jude Bellingham. I think we're going to get another maybe 40, 50 million pound player. We're going to bring back Tyler Morton. We're going to keep Bacetich in and around the first team. Milner, I can see him being offered a new contract. Like, it's not going to be a drastic overhaul. It's just, it's too expensive and it's too hard to get rid of the players. Like somebody earlier said that, you know, I've tried defending Fabinho, but he's got to go now. He's getting paid £200,000 a week. Where is he going to go? Another team in the Premier League that's seen him firsthand, how he's competing in that league? Probably not. So back onto the continent, who's going to pay him $200,000 a week?
PSG.
Why wouldn't these players that are playing for English teams that can offer so much more in terms of the wages to both the superstars and the mid-level players get paid so much more at English clubs? It's what I was saying about Oxlade-Chamberlain for over a year now, is why would he leave? He'll never get paid as much as he's currently getting paid now. You run that contract down and you get every one of those top dollars out of it because you're currently earning at your top level. Fabinho's probably at his peak level of earning right now. So unless he wants to go somewhere, we're not just going to buy him out of his contract. So that's why I think you're going to see things like Milner being brought back. I could see Firmino not being offered a new contract possibly, just to clear a little bit of room off of the books and clear out the space in the team. Eventually, he's not going to be a Liverpool player anymore. But so I can see, I can believe that FSG will do it because they're not stupid. These are sports businessmen at the end of the day. And yeah, people are saying that Red Sox fans are upset with FSG for, you know, letting the team stagnate. Baseball is so cyclical. You can be garbage one year and then be the top in your division the following season. So they have a history of winning championships. They know how to run a sports team. They're not going to let Liverpool fall to be a mid-table team.
I also think
don't see it happening.
If you're cynical and said all they care about is the top four money, then they're going to have to invest to make sure it's a top four. It's at least a top four side, which at the moment they've got a fight in their hands for this season already. So you know, we'll have to see. Oh well, right. It's gone 11 o'clock. Let's go home.
I'm just looking at the fridge and I'm looking at what Matt is drinking. And I'm thinking, yeah, go on, have one.
I'd normally never leave in the middle of a show to go and grab a can, but it was kind of extenuating circumstances.
Listen, Matt, we've had some great puns since you've been away. You need to go back and watch that.
My wife had her. While I was running my hand under the faucet for the 5 minutes that the internet recommends, I was watching the live comments coming in, and we've got some real chuckle merchants in the chat here. So.
Listen, to be honest, mate, we all forgot about the game for a good 5 minutes. We're all quite happy. What were they fighting over?
It definitely was a catastrophe waiting to happen.
It was, yes. I saw catastrophic, catastrophe. Somebody said the Tabby Kata one was funny. Yeah. The cat was on my lap being very nice, minding her own business, and the fucking corgi came upstairs and basically just attacked the cat for having the audacity of sitting on my lap. So the cat doesn't take shit from anybody, so she went back at the dog at the cat, and so I had to reach in, and the cat just absolutely chomped me on the thumb.
So it wasn't a Hendo versus Navigator fight then? Or...
No, it wasn't. So the cat ended up getting flung across the room. I've got a set of blinds I need to fix. I'm looking at now. I see they're all mangled from when the cat got tossed. So, but yeah, everybody's fine. The only one that's bleeding is me. Cat's downstairs like nothing even happened.
I tell you, see, this is what you come to us for.
Yeah. Hey, I'd much rather talk about getting fucking bitten by a cat than have to talk about that fucking second half performance that we put in today. So there you go. Silver linings.
Oh, right. Well, what day are we on today? We're on Wednesday today, aren't they? No, Tuesday. I'm wishing a week away, to be honest. I'm sure we've got a midweek fix coming out.
The guys are going to go right way back through this again tomorrow, I'd imagine. Good for them.
Have you got a viewer's voice on Thursday? Go on then,
I'd imagine we might be able to find some viewers that have a few opinions on this game. I think this is one where some of the contributors will be messaging Gav going, yeah, I'll take a shot on Thursday.
Yeah. I have no doubt. Friday, Kev, we're doing Premier League forecast prediction.
Yeah.
So, fingers crossed. Hopefully we predict the win. It actually happens.
Calvin is definitely right, by the way. No harms were harmed in the filming of this pod.
No,
we can guarantee that one.
Only a Matt, but that's fine. We don't mind that.
Fine.
That's allowed.
Matt took one for the team.
Yeah, and then Saturday, full-time Reds. It'll be a combination of us. There you go.
I have blood all over my notebook.
And then we all start again with Fatback 4. So, grand. But listen, thanks for watching. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe. And we'll be back very soon. So it finished Liverpool 2, Real Madrid 5. On we go to Palace. Speak to you later.
1, Matt 0.
That too.